then we will move on to building your own blocks. So let's assume that we are gonna make an experiment that consists of like maybe 2 blocks, and for each block maybe we have 2 or 4 trials. But you have to remember this structure. So in one block there will be several trials, and then for each trials there will be different events. So for example, I want to build a experiment with these events in one trial. Maybe I will first show a blank of 500 milliseconds, and then there will be a fixation point for 500 milliseconds, and then another 500 milliseconds of blank, and finally you will present the stimulus. And then next will be trial 2, similar but with another stimulus. So now you can go back to your block. First we want to build the blank. So if you want to put a blank into your block, you just find out pause from your event column. Just very basic overview here. You can see there are all different kinds of events at the left hand side, right? And one of them is called pause. Yeah, that one. So you just click and then drag the pause into the block like this. Can you see this? No? Yes? Good. Yeah, so you drag the pause there. So now you put a blank into your first block, and then you can further edit the blank's properties. For example, if we want to edit the duration, because we said that we want a maybe 1000 milliseconds of duration for the blank, then you can just directly edit on the top right hand corner and just type 1000. 1000 means 1000 milliseconds, so which is 1 second. And then I think we also want to put some stimulus, right? Because we mentioned that we want to put some blank and also some fixation and also a stimulus, right? For these stimulus or fixation, I recommend you guys to use the event called multimedia. This is the simplest one to use, because in a multimedia event you can put all types of stimulus. For example, you can put text, you can put audio, video, and also picture. So it's all in one. So basically you just need to remember to use multimedia for any type of stimulus presentation. And so again, you can just drag a multimedia onto the sequence of your block. When you look at a block, you can see the sequence, it should be from left to right. So that means in my example, it will be first an instruction page, and then a blank presentation, and then a stimulus presentation, and then another blank presentation, and then a stimulus presentation. So okay, so this is the sequence or your procedures of the experiment. After you drag the multimedia event, you can further decide what sort of stimulus you want to present in this event. So basically, by clicking these 3 icons, one of them, for this icon is a video event. Like if you left click it, then there will be a square here. So that means in this square box, a video will be presented in that trial, in that place, that position. And then if you want to present maybe, for example, a picture, then you click this camera icon. Again, there will be a picture present in that position. So you can just move around, and you can also adjust the size of your picture. If you want to add a text box or present some word, then you can just click T. So that means text, and then once you click it, there will be a text box shown somewhere in this page, and then you just again move to the place that you want to place it. Is it okay? And then you can also just type your text here. whatever you want to type. But usually you won't type it here because you usually will display different wording in different trials, right? We will talk more about that later. But if you're gonna, for example, display the same word in every trial, then you can type the word here. But if you want to present different word in different trial, you will use another thing called trial table view. We can talk about that later. But at this moment, so you guys should know how to at least construct a simple block, right? So that's what I was talking about. Like, for example, if I want to present a word, for example, apple, for the first trial, and then maybe in the second trial you want to present an orange, or maybe the first trial you want to present a banana, then how can we do that? You will have to refer to the trial table view. By default, you should be on the design view. So now you can click trial table view. Just click here. Then you will find some table. So this is where you wanna individualize your stimulus of each trial. To begin, you want to first decide how many trials you have in one block. To do so, you click this button, add new trials. Then, for example, if you have 4 trials in your in each block, then you type 4 here. For example, if you want to add more trial, maybe like if I have 10 trials in a block, then I want to add 5 more. So from top to bottom, this is the number of your trials in one block. So if you have 10 rows, that means you have 10 trials in your block. And then let's say we want to define like, for example, for which wording will be presented in each trial. Then you're gonna have to create new column. For example, I want to present a different wording. Then I can create a new column called wording, something like that. And then you can, in these tables, type in the wording that you want to present in different trials. So let's say in the first trial you want to present a apple as your word, and then maybe the second trial you want to present a banana as your stimulus word. Then after you have typed all these, then you have to do next step, which is to make a connection. For example, can you see a text element 1 here? And then you can, if you want to connect the word that you have just typed here with your text element, you will have to click text and then drag to the word column. So that means by doing this connection, in each trial, that text element will present the wording shown in this column. That's how you do a word stimulus presentation. And also, if you want to randomize the presentation order, you just click randomize here, randomize. But if you want to be not randomized, maybe you present it as the sequence you like, then you just click sequential. So if it is sequential, your trial will be presented in the order from 1 to the largest number. So it's up to you. Now go back to design view. Just try to add one image element by clicking this camera. For example, let's say this. I want to present different image in different trial. Then again, you go to trial table, and then you want to create a new column. Maybe let's say you create a new column for image. Then you can just create a new column. Maybe I call it image. And now, just like what you did for your word stimulus, you add your image here. But how you add the image? For image, you got to browse it from your computer from this one, Stimulus Finder. Can you see that? Here, Stimulus Finder. So once you click Stimulus Finder, you can browse your computer for the image that you want to present. And lastly, don't forget that you have to make the connection. So to make the connection, you go back to connection and then find the image element. So because this was an image element, right? So you go back here and then find the image element, or maybe image element 3, and then you click image and drag to your image column that you have just designed. If it is a word stimulus, you just type your word in this column and then make the connection. But if it is a picture or video or audio stimulus, you have to first go to Stimulus Finder and add your stimulus into each column, and then go back and make the connection. That's it. Finally, we have one more stimulus, that is the audio stimulus. But basically it's the same. You just have to create another new column, maybe you name it audio, and then you add the audio stimulus from Stimulus Finder and then make the connection. So for example, you can add another new column, maybe you call audio, and then again you go to Stimulus Finder and then find the stimulus that you want to add and then add them all. But this time it's a little bit tricky because for audio you do not have to add it back in your design view, right? You don't have to add audio icon here. No, there's no such icon. So where can you find in your trial table view connection? For this one you have to remember, for audio file, audio stimulus, you have to make connection with this icon called audio file and link it with the columns that you have just added. Because for audio, you don't have to press this icon to add, so you have to directly find it from the trial table view at the top, one called audio file, and make this connection with the columns that you have just added. So by this way, that means for the first trial you present for one wave file, etc. Is it okay? This is very important for you guys, because sometimes in an experiment you will have several blocks, right? Maybe at least five or 6 blocks, and usually you want to randomize the block order, right? But how you can do the block randomization? So you first have to click this here, and then click this bar again, and then when you look at this experiment properties, you can find this one, randomized block. Can you see it here? If you want to make the block order randomized, you just click true. Then the block, for example, if you have block 1 and block 2 here, these 2 blocks order will be randomized. But only the block will be randomized, not the test between these 2 blocks. Because usually between blocks you will have some test saying, oh, you can have a rest right now. So that test, it won't be randomized, but only these 2 blocks or 3 or 4 blocks depending on your experiment. So this is very useful. Is it okay for you guys?